Handshakes, mutual courtesies, patting each other on the back. Kind words and nice gestures during the Brussels summit on the situation in Ukraine were really not lacking. So were general declarations.
From Paris to London to Brussels, we have shown that we are willing and able to step up our joint efforts and to coordinate effectively.
Ukraine's path to the EU must be unwavering and guaranteed.
Je suis prêt à parler au président Poutine quand
I am even ready to talk to Putin if Ukraine and European partners think the time is right. The problem is that European leaders are talking, meeting, and holding summits, and meanwhile, people are dying in Ukraine from Russian missiles. Despite the leaders of European countries meeting up now and agreeing that the frozen Russian assets must be used and that the defense budgets of the European countries must be increased, if this is not more than 10 years too late, it is at least more than 3 years too late. That's why U.S. President Donald Trump is proposing a ceasefire to save Ukrainian civilians.
I think what's going to happen is Ukraine wants to make a deal because I don't think they have a choice. I also think that Russia wants to make a deal because in a certain different way that only I know.
The price of peace may be some kind of reset with Russia, as suggested by Donald Trump's envoy for Ukraine and Russia, General Keith Kellogg.
There's also a broader strategy at play in President Trump's approach to this war that is informed by the realization that the United States needs to reset relations with Russia.
A word that is very badly associated in Poland with the reset of relations with Russia under Donald Tusk's first administration. In America, has been part of geopolitics during the terms of various presidents. The most spectacular reset took place under Barack Obama, when the Secretary of State at the time, Hillary Clinton, and Russian Marshal Sergei Lavrov announced the reset of mutual relations in this way. That reset, first of all, made Europe dependent, and this reset, please note, it strengthens Europe militarily, paradoxically, because it requires more independence of countries. The idea is to get the kind of political pause when Russia becomes less aggressive towards the United States, moves more into a neutral orbit, and is ripped out of China's embrace. That's why it's important for Europe, and especially our region, to have a strong alliance with America to guarantee security and deter Russia from its imperial inclinations. In some areas of European security or defense, only the United States is competent, and it would take several decades for Europe to be able to fill its deficits on their own, in the absence of the United States. This is the result of Europe dismantling national armies for years. Poland, under the previous government, was a role model of how defense should be strengthened. Now President Andrzej Duda has a concrete proposal for NATO allies. I have submitted a written request to the Secretary General regarding the upcoming summit in The Hague, so that this matter will be brought to the table, and that within the North Atlantic Alliance, a decision be made that at least 3% of the GDP of alliance member countries be allocated to defense. Of course, you can contribute more if you want, and not from 2030, but immediately. This is not the first warning and appeal by the Polish president. Unfortunately, many countries, especially in Western Europe, did not want to believe in the Kremlin's criminal intentions until the end.
Uncertain times. And I know some may have concerns about NATO's future, so let me be clear. The transatlantic relationship and the transatlantic partnership remains the bedrock of our alliance. President Trump has made clear its commitment of the US and his commitment personally to NATO. And it has also made clear the expectation that we in Europe must do more in terms of defense spending. And here,
a strong alliance with America is a guarantee of security, but it is not provided for free. Countries, especially on the eastern flank, must constantly strengthen their own defense capabilities so as to effectively deter a Russian aggressor.